I'm Troy, co-founder of Dockflow. Today we're going to talk about the just-in-time principle. It has become a no-brainer for logistics operations, but there's a flip side, because it makes your processes very fragile. And we're going to explore today in this video how technology can help you with that challenge. For that reason, I've invited Michel Houthuys from ALS, who has done an amazing case for DECATHLON. Before we start, Michel, please introduce yourself.
Well, we are active in supporting companies in finding solutions and running their transport and logistics organization, both on a strategic as on a operational level.
Yeah, you said a strategic level. I think it's quite obvious from this case for DECATHLON. What can you tell about the case?
They wanted to have maximum availability of products in the shops while having minimum stock.
Yeah.
So we went to see for us the ultimate client, which is the shop director, the guy who's in charge of organizing the shop. And we spent a lot of time talking to them and trying to understand what was their biggest problem. It cost them a lot of money having their teams ready, and then finding out that the trucks were running late, sometimes being there too early, and they wanted to know to have the exact information at the right time.
So that's actually the thing that was very particular about this case, that they chose for the just-in-time principle. Yes. And went for daily delivery because they didn't want to have big stocks, because stocks are costs. But then actually, due to this daily delivery, they got a lot of costs due to delays that happened. And actually, that's a little bit contradictory, because just-in-time should save money, but actually it was costing them money. And the alternative is of course to move to a weekly or a monthly delivery of stock, which would be very big and large, and also had some coordination costs. But this would avoid the cost of these daily delays, of course. I think that's quite an interesting case.
Well, they also want to be very quick in their response to client demand. So when they have a number of fast movers, because they have very little stock in the shop, they need a daily.
They need to be flexible.
They need to be very flexible.
Okay.
So what they found out was that they had a lot of hiccups in trying to provide these daily deliveries on time at the right moment, and also being able to respond to their clients, because they also have clients who come specifically to the shop to pick up their online.
Yeah, the collect and go principle. Yeah.
And their online orders. So when they have a delay with that, they also want to know it, because then the client is not in the shop and being dissatisfied.
Yeah, of course.
So we had to respond to that.
All right. So they had to be very flexible. The problem was that due to daily deliveries, a lot of people were waiting on transport. And you said, okay, let's use technology to solve this. How exactly did you do this?
Now, what we tried first was, this is something that our drivers could do.
Yeah.
Just let them make the
like send a text or something. Yeah.
Exactly. In theory, that is all very nice. The core task of a driver is to make sure that he's driving in a safe way, that he anticipates with all the challenges that he has on a daily basis, the weather, traffic jams, maybe a flat tire. That's his core task. Don't ask the driver to become a communicator, because that's not where they are. We also have a lot of international drivers active in the organization, so it was a challenge, but it didn't work. So we said we have to find another solution. What we did is look at how we could use geofencing technology that we have in the track and trace system, so that we could follow every truck on a number of points along the route, and inform the client, when the truck was on time, 15 minutes before he was arriving at the shop, and secondly, if he was not going to be on time, what would be the delay, so that they could anticipate in their internal organization and towards their clients in such a way that they could inform them. That everybody was aware of what was going on.
Okay.
And that consistently on a daily basis. because the client also wants 100% consistency and continuity. It always have to work, and technology does that.
Yeah.
Unless the system goes down. But
Yeah.
that is obviously not. That happens maybe once in a year or in 10 years.
Yeah.
So we were able to set it up in such a way that we provide the client with the correct information at the right time and 100% of the time.
And this saved them a lot of costs, right? Because they were
Yes.
waiting before, like for half an hour or an hour,
Yes.
which is just people standing idle costs a lot.
Well,
So-
we're in the beautiful city of Antwerp. When you drive around the ring of Antwerp, which is one of the 5 busiest roads in Europe, you know that you can have delays.
Yeah.
You will have, I think there is an average delay now of 30 minutes. You can anticipate for that, but not necessarily the best approach. But you can also make sure that you always know where the truck is.
Yeah.
And you can obviously not ask your client, go and check on the system and follow the truck yourself. They say, we don't have the time for that, and they're right. But you can provide them with the correct information of when the truck is due to arrive, and 15 minutes before the truck arrives, just give them a simple SMS. That's what the shop, the guy who's responsible for in the shop, he gets the message, he organizes his team, and they go to the ramp and they're ready to unload the truck. It's also a big benefit for us because we lose much less time to wait for the team when they are not aware. And for the client, we calculated that they would have a team of 4 people helping to unload the truck. On average, they would lose 15 minutes per day. That's about an hour. When you calculate the cost of labor, we came up to amounts between 5,000 and 10,000 euro per shop per year that we could save.
Okay.
And we are supplying 35 shops.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right, and actually it's a quite simple system where you can save so much.
Exactly.
That's very cool. And it was linked to their system in the shop. Yeah, very, very interesting. I hope you liked the first video of our very first interview for the School of Logistics. In our next part, we're going to dive deeper in the technology aspects of the solution that Michel is talking about. So stay tuned for part 2.